Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Review. Being my first Christmas season doing beer reviews on YouTube, I love a lot of Christmas beers, so you're going to see a lot of them coming up. And Mad Elf is towards the top of that list. I've been enjoying it for at least the oldest one I have in the cellar is from 2012. I think I got into the beer before that, but at least for the last 5 years, it's been a beer I really enjoy. My friend Pete used to buy it by the case, and I'd grab like a six pack off of him. Um, so really excited to do this year's vintage. That's what this is. And then we have this year has the Grand Cru, which translates to the even snobbier version, I think. So they're both 11% ABV. They're both 15 IBU. They both have cherries and honey in them. But this one, the Grand Cru, I think is using a little bit. Is it a local cherry to them in PA maybe or something? It's a different kind of cherry. I think it's like wildflower honey. I think they make the distinction. Um, Balaton cherries, some kind of sugar, demerara sugar and wildflower honey. So I think they just use maybe like a higher quality of ingredient. But both beers sound pretty similar: cherry, honey, the same ABV and IBU. So I thought, doing a comparison. I mean, I'll talk about each individually. I do like it so much that I did get this is the old label or the old style logo for Mad Elf. So I did get the glass a few years ago, and yeah, pretty excited to do this review. First Christmas beer of the season. I went down to my cellar to kind of pull some stuff, and so let's see. Trying to think what's coming up. Some Sammy Claus. Oops, let me do it this way. I got some Sammy Claus 2009, 2014. I'll be doing probably two different reviews. St. Bernardus, Corsidon, so like a lot of Belgian style. Adoration from Omegang was a few years on it. Their barrel aged one from last year, I believe. Trying to think what else I pulled. Oh, Brown Sugar from 2014. So a lot of age stuff. I'll throw in some of this year's vintages of some things as well. So yeah, definitely. I didn't do many fall beers. I kind of got to think about that. I think the only ones I did was the Oktoberfest that Till Brew Do Us Part. Check them out. Had done and like challenged people to do, and it's coming off. And other than that, I don't think so. So yeah, anyway, we're gonna see a lot more seasonal beers for this season. 'Cause I love them. All right. Um, so if you don't watch my channel, and I don't know if I don't know if I've ever talked about this. Um, I'm a huge honey fan. Like, I love honey. Oh, these beers look. This one definitely looks darker. The Grand Cru is definitely darker. Look how different the head is. I mean, that's way easier to tell. Maybe in the direct light it's not, but much more of like a reddish grapish, like grape juice. It reminds me like pouring grape juice real fast and like a little bit of head you might get. It's like that color. So definitely darker Grand Cru, harder to see through than the Mad Elf. I always loved this. Like pouring this almost kind of reminded me of if I cover up the head, almost like a Christmas bulb. Anyway, love honey, huge honey fan. And I like cherries the average amount a person would like cherries. And my fear for beers with cherry is always like, I hope it doesn't come across as like cough syrup, that super fake stuff. So I'm really excited. Let's get into it. Definitely skews that like Belgian yeast that I think they're both using the same. I think they call it spicy Belgian yeast. They both so again sounds pretty similar except maybe better ingredients in this one. But it leads with that yeast aroma. Then you get the fruitiness, the cherries specifically, but I get almost like a little bit of raisin, which might be my mind playing tricks on me because when I get that Belgian yeast, oftentimes I'm drinking something that had like a quad or something that has maybe dried fruit note. And there's no cinnamon or those adjuncts in there, but it does have a cinnamon, very Christmassy. Some of those fall spices, right? They blend into the Christmas cookies, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, all that kind of stuff. Relatively sweet smell. I'll put this just down here. All right, let's get into the Grand Cru. It does smell different. Not getting that cinnamon note. Oh, I should also say this is bottle conditioned, so there's another difference. That spice, or I'm sorry, that spicy yeast note is more muted here. I'm gonna say it smells more like cherries, like almost like a cherry juice, so that's up. A little bit of funk, which okay, interesting. Well, you know what though? I think with maybe with these cherries, did I read some? 'Cause I didn't watch any reviews. I didn't read any actual reviews, but I think I was reading up about what the beer is. Did they, or was it the Wild Elf? Maybe it's the Wild Elf that they wanted the cherry skins, like everything that's on there to interact. I think it's probably Wild Elf, which I've never had. But yeah, I do get a little bit of funk, almost like an apple, like green apple tartness. And this smells sweeter. So being a sweet tooth guy, I'm gonna say this one smells a little nicer. I think a lot like I don't like sours. Not that it smells sour, but like people who like wild ales and sours probably would have preferred the head. Wow, the aroma on this one still very pleasant. To be honest with you, they're both very nice in the aroma. I'll start with the traditional first. So cheers. Drinks real easy for 11%. Definitely get the cherry. The honey comes across first sweet. In the aftertaste, I do get, and I think I have said this in reviews before. Honey does have a taste, right? It's not just straight sugar, it's not just straight sweetness. And if you took that sweetness away, this has a little bit of what honey tastes like. That cherry note, wonderful. Definitely not artificial, which is always, again, my fear. Definitely a cinnamon note that they note. I only noted it in this aroma. Besides the cherry, I do get slight apple, little bit of like biscuity malt. The yeast, appropriately, spicy yeast. It does have a little bit of not quite peppery, but like bordering that Belgian yeast kind of a quality. So it does. It's interesting. It does taste like a Belgian beer because of that yeast. The cherry's awesome in it. That added sugar from the honey, a little bit of honey, no, almost bordering peppery. Definitely tastes how I like Mad Elf to taste. So I'm gonna say this year's vintage is good as other years. Yeah, that's good. All right, let's get into the Grand Cru. Oh, I should note how many times am I gonna use the word note? Um, a six pack of this costs almost the same as Grand Cru, within a couple bucks, I think. So this has to be like really good to warrant having one bottle of this versus six of the regular. So let's see. Cheers. We just do one cup cleanse. Instantly different beers. Wow, you can tell immediately the different beers. Let me do another one before I start describing it. This one has a way juicier taste. Like it tastes like almost a combination of cherry, apple, cranberry juice. So just like the aroma, there is a little bit of funk to it. Those three fruits definitely coming through. I'm trying to see if I get that cinnamon quality I got in this. I don't get that cinnamon quality. The yeast is a little bit more hidden, but definitely there. You can taste it. I'm gonna say this, although the yeast is a little bit more buried, that prickliness, almost pepperiness, is standing out more in this. It's less sweet than this, although this isn't like a super sweet beer. This one's less sweet. Buried pretty far down as a vanilla taste. Really, those three juices though, apple juice with the skin too, like that taste is there as well. Cranberry, and then definitely cherry, like for sure cherry. It has just a little bit of that like kind of twanginess. Nice. It's nice. This one comes across a hair thinner if you compare the two. A little bit more syrupy. Now I've gone from this to this. Tell you what, going from this to this, now besides it being a little bit more syrupy, this one you get more honey for sure. Like it's so much, it's so easily. Wow. Apparently doing these at the same time, easily noticeable. That has more honey taste in it. Let's see how big of a cop out this is. I prefer this. I like the regular Mad Elf better. I like that I can get 6 of them for about the same price as one of these. That being said, if you like Mad Elf and like it's a beer you always buy like every Christmas, you're like, yes, Mad Elf again this year. You do want to treat yourself and get one of these. There's enough overlap. It's like a Venn diagram, right? There's enough overlap that if you like this, there's things about this you're going to like, and then there's enough different that it's going to be an interesting experience and worth the difference. Wow. Yeah, cool. My wife's not a huge cherry fan, but she said she's going to help me finish drinking both these. I guess I should cuvee them. It's a pretty big pour. Oh, I should do it in the proper. Now that's super. I got a bunch of air in there. All right. Didn't do this earlier. About finger ahead. Yeah, the color is about in the middle, very reddish hue, and then almost like a brown in the middle. Excuse me. Heads a mix from the two, shockingly. Ooh, that sweetness with the funkiness. And again, I'm not trying to oversell. This is not a super funky beer. But that funk note that does come through, with that sweetness battling, that's actually very pleasant. The hint of the cinnamon that was missing in this one is a welcome addition with these two coming together. Yeah, it smells good. Long review, so it's... Come on. Cheers. More of a grape quality. That's interesting. Definitely cherry. Some apple comes through, but I'm getting a grape that I did not get in either of these. So the fruit juiciness of this one is still kind of overpowering. The little bit of cinnamon that's coming through is nice. This is not a sum of its total of its sums. Yeah, total of its sums. I would rather these be separate beers for sure. It's not bad mixed together. It's just that's better than this. Because you still have a little bit of that twanginess, the sweet sugariness of this trying to cut through doesn't quite work. Yeah, I wouldn't cuvee these if I was Troegs or if I was you. Thanks for watching. I always appreciate it. Check me out on Instagram and Untapped. No Hype Beer Reviews at both those places. As always, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.